Hello there. My name is Reese Lane from the B.B.B, the Battle Bus Broadcast. We have some upcoming news on the Civil War. We are covering new information coming live to us from the Battle of Antietam, the bloodiest day of the Civil War, between Confederates and the Union. Here's Maggie Gardner on the scene of the fight.
Fallen.
Man, this is brutal. Hello, Reese. This is Maggie Gardner reporting live. I'm currently standing on the battlefields in Sharpsburg, Maryland, on this day in September 17, 1862, at the Antietam Creek with Commander Alexander, a fighter for the Confederate side. So tell me, Commander, how's it going on the bloodiest day in the war?
Well, I must say, it's been a real struggle. At the moment, it's not in our favor, but surprisingly, our generals haven't been doing good so far. General Robert Lee has been pushing us to our limits, but we aren't doing so good. This battle is close to the capital, and the advance of warfare and tactics is today been adding to the casualties. We are really pulling through on this fight. So far, so many losses, but we're losing so many men. It's hard for us.
Well, that sure is an interesting take on this bloody day. Well, I must say, it's been quite an interesting fight. Both sides have lost so many good men.
Oh yes. I've heard that Abraham Lincoln might use this victory to help push for his Emancipation Proclamation. Something about slaves and freedom, something. We all know this is not forced on that way anyway. Lincoln only wants the Confederates to rejoin the Union.
An interesting inside scoop on the politics of this battle. How about back at the station?
I agree. This fight is truly grotesque. 23,000 casualties and counting. Wow. But isn't this only from the Union side? What about the view of the Confederates? Speaking of which, a Confederate general just stopped by in the studio this morning to share his views. Hello, General Barbado. What's your take on this bloody battle?
Well, first of all, this is the bloodiest day in American history, with over 23,000 casualties. This is also a very important victory for the Union, as it changes the tide of the war in the Union's favor. We seem to be on our downfall because we are not close to winning. Before this, we were going on a winning streak. I guess General Lee and Stonewall Jackson haven't been doing very good.
This is quite interesting, but I must ask, how did you discover the Union's finding out about your attack?
Well, from what I understand, a man from the Union had been on a hunt to discover the Confederates' plans, and he just happened to be walking along the path that the Confederates went on. He soon found a piece of paper laying on the ground, and it turns out one of the officers was being irresponsible and left the plans on the dirt for us to find. To be honest, I just stabbed one of the buggers myself.
Well, that is sure interesting, but I must say we have somebody else here with us today. The current president of the Union, the largest voice for the abolitionist movement, President Abraham Lincoln. Sir, how are you?
I am very good, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Now to the question, what are you going to do about all the casualties? How will you find more men? I mean, today, 23,000 casualties. How are you going to bounce back from that?
Well, it's quite simple, actually. We will bring up a new concept called the draft. We will randomly select men from all across the Union and replace those who are MIA or those who are KIA. It's kind of like a lottery. Also, since the loss of so many people in the Battle of Antietam, we can have other men step up, and the freed slaves from the Emancipation Proclamation take their places behind the scenes.
Now this is a man that deserves to be our president. Thank you so much for coming on to our show today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching today. We'll be back tomorrow when hopefully we can get further detail about these battles, and also a special preview of the phase 2 of this war called Endgame. Drink water, stay healthy, and have a good day.
How's it going?
Must say, we have somebody else here today. B.B.B, Battle Bus.
Going to enforce the Emancipation Proclamation. Is it called emancipation? I don't know.
It'd be worth it.
My ketchup's sliding!
Alright.
Nice.
This fight is truly grotesque. 23,000 casualties and counting. Truly gross. Of the Union, the largest voice of that. Wait, hold up.